very small in these junior classes. So we're going to have class 15, 16, and then we're going to go to the junior championship. So I think that probably what we will do, guys, is we will probably stick with junior and senior. We'll put our junior and senior together as far as our Facebook feed. So just letting my team know, hey Ron, just letting you know, we are going to do our junior and our seniors together because we only have 2 classes of juniors, and they're very small classes. Small does not mean that these cattle are not just tremendous. We have some really great looking cattle here. Okay, so again, we are back. We're going to do our junior and our senior.
If you have a first or second in this class and the next class, please do not go back to the barn because you will immediately come back in for the junior champion drive.
Okay, so our champion in the intermediate division okay, just getting a little tip that I'm stopping my video too quick, so next time I'll do a better job. Sorry about that. So again, we are going to keep the stream going for junior and for seniors. We're going to do the juniors and seniors together because there's so few. But our intermediate champion was Moreno Ranches, and that was a Moreno Mr. Rockstar daughter. And our reserve champion in the intermediate was Scanlon, from what I have been told. CT Miss Red Bean 13/9, and she is a DF Mr. Butterbean daughter out of CT Lady Riley Manson. So champion was number 756 entry number from that last division.
We're going to leave these 2 in the lineup, completely contrasting in their type and kind. We're going to go with a little more moderately framed female that's a little bit lighter in terms of her bone work, but one that I think is adequate there. She's by far the thickest from shoulder to hip. She's a female that offers tons of shape right there behind her shoulders. Again, she's a female that I'd like to put a few more kind of pieces together with. I'd love to see her with just a little bit bigger foot as she gets to the ground. But in terms of overall shape down her top, she's obviously got it. I think she's feminine enough and refined enough about that head and neck. She's very clean and square and correct in her lines, and that's kind of why we put her on top. You've got a more rugged made female, bigger outline, longer pattern, all of those things. A female in my mind that when you look at her, she gets just a touch coarser maybe over her hip. She's a female that obviously doesn't have the natural thickness that the female we just described. But I think from the profile standpoint, you like what you see. When you get behind this female, she's awful flat through her quarter and doesn't track with a lot of base width. You love the amount of depth aside she has and the length from those shoulders forward. Again, a contrasting pair depending on what you're looking for. Those are the things I saw and kind of how they sorted.
Are they? I don't know.
Results of class 15.
So in class 15, we had CT Miss Rojo Frijoли 1/9. Miss,
second goes to
and that's going to be a DF Mr. Butterbean daughter.
Now in class
and that was
16,
Choice Custom Fitters on the stick.
Junior
And then
Heifers.
in second, we had
After
the
this will be our division
Ponchos
drive.
Red Brahmin. That was going to be Miss WCC 346/9, and that's going to be a Maximus daughter. So right now, coming in the ring, we have the class number 16 coming in the ring. And again, we had Dylan watching just a little while ago from ELGIN Breeding Service. So we want to give him a shout out and tell him thank you for everything that he does and that ELGIN Breeding Service does for us. So thank you guys very much. We appreciate all that you do for the Brahmin Journal and all you do for the Brahmin breed. Let's just get right down to it. Okay, so we are in the junior division. This is the junior division. This is going to be class 16. And as I said, we will not take a break between the junior and the senior. We're going to just run them together as far as our live stream because there's not a lot in both of these divisions. So this is class 16, and we're going to have a Doucet Cattle, Joyce Custom Fitters, a Moreno Ranches, and a Hudson Matthews entry in here. So we have an X-Ray daughter, a Pasco daughter, a Smoking Gun daughter, and a CT Captain T.O. daughter. About a 10-minute break between the gray and the red, which is really awesome because I'm thinking I've been drinking a lot of coffee. Just saying.
Yes.
There you go. Okay. Thank you again to Elgin, and if Dylan is watching, thank you. Okay. Hey Amber, glad you are watching with us. We are on class 16, which is our second class of junior division. And then after this, we will be having the junior division drive. So, pretty small classes here in the red females in the, oops, wrong way guys, sorry. Taking y'all for a ride. There we go. There we go. Alrighty. Okay, we want to thank our sponsors, of course. This is Red Smith Genetics. They are in Llano, Texas. RedSmithGeneticsTexas.com, and they are not new to the Brahman, but have come back into the breed. So shout out to Red Smith Genetics, and thanks for being so supportive of the Brahman Journal and helping us be here today. And of course, wouldn't be remiss to not remind you about that Southern Bells sale that we're going to have on our Best Cattle Sales site. But we have a sale coming up like super quick. So we want to let you guys know that you need to go to the bestcattlesales.com site and go check out the Heart of the South Brahman replacement heifer sale, replacement female sale. Sorry about that. And that is going to be January 16 and 17 on Best Cattle Sales. So we are in class 16. It looks like the judge has chosen the Joyce Custom Fitters entry to be pulled in for that first spot. And that is going to be the CT Lady Pasco 10/9. So let's go back into the arena and see what we've got going on. Hey Alejandro, good to see you watching with us. So as we said, we're going to be doing the junior division drive next. Junior division drive next.
Starting with the female
Zooming
in
right
this
along.
group, just kind of sorts herself to the top of this four-pack. She's a female in my mind that offers a lot of rugged bone underneath her, a little bit deceiving with that two-tone color, one that's square and level out of her hip. Really like the length of side and the profile in this female. She's one that offers a lot of femininity, wedges in nice up front. Then you got a female coming in next. She's one that's a little bit deceiving. She's obviously a little bit more moderately framed female compared to some of these big outline cattle around her, but I think she's adequate there. She's one that's really strong out of the top part of her hip. She's one that probably gets a little bit underneath or just drops into pins just ever so slightly compared to some of these females out here. That probably could just be today. I think if she just really kind of stretch and reach and get on out in terms of how she tracks, she'd be a tough one to get around. She's a really complete type of a package. Just gets a little bit outsized and out-horsing some of this group, but I think overall good for good. Good enough feminine heifer in that second hole is kind of how I saw her. Then you got a really big outline female, one in my mind that is really square and level out of her hip, maybe comparatively to that one that we had in front of her. She just, because there's so much daylight underneath her, she's really long pattern. She's one that just kind of gets a touch piecey for me on the side view profile. Obviously, being big outline like that, and you put a little bit bigger hump on her, but I think in terms of her overall size, there's a lot of good quality there. She has a good set of feet and legs underneath her, very fluid and mobile, and again, holds herself better out of her hip than the one we placed ahead of her. And then we round the class out with a female that I like in terms of the strength right there behind her hump. She's nearly level from her shoulder to her hip. She's a female that has enough three-dimensional shape to her rib. She gets a little bit higher in the flank and a little bit flatter through the quarter when you watch her track off the rear too. And she was kind of in a class with some other females that had some traits I really loved. Again, that's kind of why we sorted her here in the bottom hole. Not a bottom place female, but again, just kind of how I saw them in this 4 today.
Alrighty, that was class 16, and our winner was from Joyce Custom Fitters, and that was CT Lady Pasco 10/9. And in second,
Results
we
of
had
class
Lady
16,
M.
late
Camilla
junior
Rojo.
yearling heifers.
That's a CT Captain TO
First place goes to
74/5
Joyce Custom
daughter.
Fitters. Second goes to Hudson
And Lady
Matthews.
H. Melania
Third goes
was
to
the
Marina Ranches.
dam.
And fourth goes
And
to
on
Doucette
the
Cattle.
first place, we had the
We're now
Lady
bringing in
Pasco,
our
which
junior
was the SRS
champion
Mr.
drive.
Pasco daughter. So now we're in, now we're in the junior championship.
Out of class 15, first place was the Joyce Custom Fitters. Second was
Alrighty.
Fontenot's Red Brahmin. Class 16 was also the Joyce Custom Fitters, and second was Hudson Matthews. This is our lineup for our junior champion red drive.
This is our junior champion red drive, and as we were saying, the representatives here are CT Miss Rojo Frijoли, 1/9. That's in that very first class, and first in the second class. And it looks like he chose this as his. Nope, sorry. He's just walking. Sorry. And then we have the CT Lady Pasco 10/9, and that's a SRS Mr. Pasco daughter. And in second places we had the Brahmins, the Fontenot Red Brahmins, entry Miss WCC 346/9, which is a Maximus daughter, and the Lady M. Camilla Rojo CT Captain Tio daughter. So. Get you guys over slowly.
Out of our 2 class winners, again, a little contrasting in their type. That's how we sorted them in the class. But again, I'm gonna go with the one that's a little bit bigger frame, longer pattern, one that I really like in terms of the amount of bone she has, and one that balances up ultra well for me, and that's the female coming out of the senior class. She'll
Okay,
be
the
my,
oldest class is going to
intermediate
be your
champion.
intermediate champion, and that is going to be,
Junior champion, I apologize.
I'm sorry, junior champion. That's going to be your Joyce Custom Fitters and Joyce Custom Fitters. So we had for reserve consideration. Sorry about that. Okay, so the CT Lady Pasco 10/9 was going to be our junior champion. They're all moving around now. And then, let's see. Okay. And then, so our champion was the CT Lady Pasco 10/9. That's the SRS Mr. Pasco 812 daughter out of CT Lady 380 Rhino. And then our reserve consideration, we have the first out of the first class, which is going to be the CT Miss Rojo Frijoли, and the second out of the second class, which is going to be the Lady M. Camilla Rojo 30/9. Hey Lorenzo, good to see ya.
These 2 are a little more similar in their type and kind in terms of really thick-made females that get just a touch rounder out of that hip, but offer a lot of meat and shape. Again, love the amount of thickness. Super, super thick in terms of for her size, out of that class, all of those things. It works slightly to her disadvantage because she's so thick, because she looks like she doesn't have enough bone underneath her. That is not the case. She is adequate in terms of that. It just works a touch at her disadvantage because of just how much natural thickness she has down her top and out of her hip. In my mind, the more stylish, a little more balanced, but still offers some of those same quality traits. Good set of feet and legs underneath it is the one that comes second out of that class. Should be
Okay, so the second place in the second class is going to be our reserve champion. So that is going to be the Lady M. Camilla Rojo, 30 over 9. And we will be coming back in the arena with the first senior class. We're going to stay live streaming. Even though this is the senior, we're not splitting it up.
Our junior champion female came from Joyce Custom Fitting Service, CT Lady Pasco, 10 over 9. Our reserve
So this is class number 20.
junior champion
Class number 20
came from Hudson Matthews,
is in the arena.
Lady N. Carmela Rojo, 30 over 9. That's
There we
our
go.
junior champions. We've now started our class 20.
So now we're in the
This is our
seniors.
first class of senior red females.
Alrighty, we are in the senior now, guys. We're in the senior. Kind of changing things up on you just a little bit. Okay, so we have 2 in the arena. We have 2 in the arena. And this is going to be Miss Double A 258 over 1 and Moreno Miss Rosabeth 258.
We'll start with the female here in this first class of senior division. One that's just awful nice out of her top. She's super strong right there behind her hump. She's a female that offers a lot of femininity and still has that show bloom and eye appeal here in the senior division. One that's got good set of feet and legs underneath her. Again, really strong and level out of her top line. The female that comes in next doesn't take away in terms of her overall style and balance. She's much pounds lighter in terms of where she's at today than our class winner. But I think she's got a lot of style to her as well. She's so long pattern from shoulder to hip. She gives the appearance she's a little more tubular or needs to be dropped in the flank. She's got that three-dimensional shape to her rib. I think her hip holds herself really nice in terms of when she's tracking and moving. Very athletic on both ends of her skeleton. Just gives up some of that overall show bloom and weight per day of age we saw in our class winner.
Okay. We are zooming right along.
Results of class
and we are
20,
getting ready to move
senior
into
yearling
class 21.
heifers.
And as we
First
discussed in that
place
first
goes
senior
to
class, Moreno
Second
Ranches
goes
was
to
Double
the
A 258 over
ranch.
1, so I'm going to guess that
We're now
that
ready
was
for
probably
class
bred
21,
by our
late
good friend Danny
senior
Acevedo.
yearling
We're getting ready
heifers.
to move into class 21, guys. This is going to be class 21. 21. So we are in class 21, and I'm going to put you guys on mute for just 1 second. Okay, and we are back. Sorry, we were talking about some logistics here. So in this class, we have the Walters Livestock entry. This is going to be a KF. So that's going to be a K-Bar Farms, Miss Rita Rojo. She's in the very first, is the very first female entered into this right here. And then the one in the middle is the Carrier Cattle Company. And we're going to have the K-Bar Farms entry. Walters Livestock is on the sticks. There's going to be KF Miss Rita Rojo. That's a BB Mr. Stingray daughter out of KF Miss Martin Success. And then she's going to be first.
Female on top, I'll keep it relatively short. She's really nice. She sorts herself super easy in this trio.
This is our first
one that
place.
I see a lot of good in and a lot of things.
Second,
I like
we're going to
about
have
her.
the
Next is a big
Miss
outline female that will
CB
have come in
Lee.
second. One that I think is the next more fault-free female. She's a female that's really long and extended from those shoulders forward. A little bit heavier and fuller through that brisket today. Those things happen, but the femininity in terms of her head and neck is still there. She's a female. I like her overall rib shape better than the female third. The one that rounds out the class, again, a strong top female from shoulder to hip. Correct in terms of the way she's put together. Just gives up some of the overall dimension and volume to her rib, as we see in that top pair.
And we are getting ready to be in class 22.
21,
So that
late
was
senior
class
yearling
21.
heifers results. First place goes to Walters Livestock.
And we're getting ready to enter
Second
with
to
class
Cooper
22.
Bendy. And third goes to Carrier Cattle. We're now on class 22, the aged summer heifers.
Okay, this is class 22, and again, we're going to thank those people who support us on Best Cattle Sales. That's going to be Heart of the South sale. We are having that sale on Best Cattle Sales January 16 and 17. Then, of course, we have the Brahmin Selecta. We were very excited to have the very first online auction in Mexico for Brahmin cattle. And that was the Brahmin Selecto sale, the first edition. It was very successful, and that happened in September of 2020. And so they're going to have a February 6th and 7th. Be looking for the lots. We already have the lots up for that part of the South. And then, of course, we're going to have another online auction in Mexico. We were excited to have the very first online and live, and now we're going to have a genetic for the Subasta sale. So we're going to have that is going to be just genetics, and that's February, I think, 26, 27, and 28. So thank you guys for being supportive of Best Cattle Sales. And then, of course, we have Heritage. We're very excited to have the Heritage Spring Brahmin Bull online sale. That's going to be February 2nd. So thanks, guys, for being supportive of the Brahmin Journal and bestcattlesales.com. Make sure you visit bestcattlesales.com. We already have those Heart of the South lots up, and that sale will start on January 16. So we're getting ready to walk the cattle. Let's see what they look like. And in the arena, in this class 22, we have, we have the Lady H. Willa Rojo. This is going to be the Red Smith Genetics entry. And it's going to be a HK Visa volunteer daughter. And then we have the Moreno Ranches Miss Lady Rica, and that's going to be a Moreno Mr. Risky daughter. And then I believe we have the Schulte Cattle Company rounding out, and that is going to be a TJF smoking gun. It looks like we're going with Moreno 1, Willa 2, and Schulte.
Really square made, level design female here up the front end, one that's ultra rugged in terms of her feet and legs, but very ground covering and athletic in terms of her stride. She's a female, again, maybe not the most feminine featured from those shoulders forward, but from the shoulders back, she's really strong and square, ultra rugged in terms of her bone work, and very ground covering in terms of her stride. You have a female coming in next that I really like. the way she ties in at the point of her shoulders, a really ultra
to get
feminine
your view
female
over there.
for this kind of senior division. Like how she's really tight and clean in terms of her navel. She's one when you get behind the most naturally thick female in the class, but I think she profiles ultra nice for me, and one that again, I just really like the femininity she has on the front in terms of her style and balance. The female that kind of comes in next is one that you like from her length aside. She's one that's got some length from the shoulders forward as well. She ties in just a touch lower in terms of where she's at on that shoulder or in her hump. That takes away a little bit to her disadvantage in terms of balance and eye appeal. She's a female that's a touch steeper out of her hip. She doesn't drop in her pins. She's just a touch steeper out of her hip. Like how athletic she is on both ends of her skeleton as well. Again, if she tied in just a bit higher in the point of her shoulder, be one that would be tougher in that intermediate decision. 3 good females though for the senior class.
Okay, we are getting ready to have
Thank you, Cole. Class 22 age summer
the,
females. Results. First place
next
went
class
to
is
Merino
going to be our
Ranches.
a
Second
single
goes to
entry
IS
class, and it's going to
Cattle.
be class number 23.
And third goes to
And
the
again, we
Shelby
had
Cattle
the Merino
Company.
Mr. Risky
We're on our last class of
daughter
the day.
was first. And
We
then
only
in
have
second,
one
we had
entry,
the
and
Lady
then we're
H.
going for
Willa.
our senior
We
drive.
are going to move
After
along
that, we'll
into
do
our
our
last class
grand champion and
of the
reserve grand
seniors.
champion red
This is going to be
female.
class number 23, and then we will have
Our
the
judge would like to
senior
go ahead and
championship
get
drive.
his champion and reserve champion red female pictures done. So we'll take about a 10 to 15 minute break. That's it. And then we'll crank up with our gray females.
Okay, so you guys heard that. We are going to do the senior, then we're going to do the championship, and then we're going to do the a few photos, and we'll be back with the grays. Hey, Steve, how are you? And this is the Schulte entry. The Schulte entry.
We've talked femininity a lot today, and this is one that I really like in terms of that, especially here for the senior division. A really deep soggy made, real balanced, very nice female. Want to love her out of her hip. Good set of feet and legs as well. Getting really close to that production end point, yet still has a lot of show bloom and eye appeal. Nice single entry.
Okay, so this was a single entry, and now we're getting ready to go into the senior championship drive. So we're getting ready to do senior champion drive. Then we will take a
Results of this
short
last class.
15-minute or so break.
First place went to Schulte Cattle Company. We're now ready for our senior drive.
This is our senior
Class
drive.
20, first place was Merino Ranches. Second was IS Ranch. Class 21 was Walter's Livestock.
Hey, Neil.
Second was
We are
Cooper
going
Bendy.
to finish up, Neil, with the
Class
race.
22
And then
was
we're
Merino
going to go
Ranches.
to the gray show.
Second was
But we are
IS
going to take a
Ranch.
little break.
And class 23
We are going to take
was
just a
Schulte
smidge
Cattle
of a break while we take
These
some
are our
photos.
lineups for
And
our
then we will be
senior
back.
drive.
So class 20, we had a Moreno entry. Back up just a little bit for you guys. See if we can get everybody in. There we go. Okay, so in the senior championship drive, we have out of the first class the Moreno entry, which is going to be Moreno Miss Rosebeth. That's going to be a Moreno Mr. Risky Daughter. Then out of class 21, we had the Walters Livestock for K-Bar Farms, KF Miss Rita Rojo. In class 22, we had the Moreno Miss Lady Rika. That's going to be a Moreno Mr. Risky Daughter also. And in class 23, we had the Schultes, Miss SCC Schultes. That's a TJF Mr. Smoking Gun Daughter. Again, we are going to be taking a small break. While we take some photos so that the judge can get finished up. And then we will be back with the gray females. So we're going to take just the grand and reserve grand photos. And then we will come back with the gray females. The entire gray female show followed by the Red Bull show and the Gray Female show, the Gray Bull show.
Great group of senior females, quality throughout. Got some really rugged females and got some super nice balanced females. This gets a little bit more difficult here in this decision, a little bit tighter between these two classes, the intermediate classes coming out of the senior division. I absolutely love the female in front of me. She's going to be my senior champion today.
Okay, K-Bar Farms, KF Miss Rita Rojo, 134. Congratulations to our good friends, Carolyn Faldo.
We'll pull that
I'm not
second
sure if
place
they
up
still
here
own her,
again.
but she is
Not the
branded
most rugged bone
KF.
female,
So
but
that
you
is the
absolutely
BB
love how
Mr.
she holds
Stingray
herself
daughter.
together. Super,
So moving in
super
for
nice
reserve
balance, very
consideration
clean
out of
made,
that is the Bendy
very
Cooper,
nice
Miss
senior
CB
female.
Louise.
For me, we appreciate that second place coming back in. We're going to go with the really rugged features, still really stout made, and still holds herself together well. Here in the senior division from our reserve senior champion.
So it looks like our reserve senior champion is going to be the Moreno out of that class number 22. That's going to be Moreno Miss Lady Rica. That's the Moreno Mr. Risky daughter. So congratulations. We have our champion was KF Miss Rita Rojo. And then we are going to stay live and we are going to come back for the Grand Champion Drive. All right, let's remind you guys about this sale we're going to be having for the Carolina Brahman Breeders. They are moving very quickly right now, so I'm doing the best I can to stay up with everybody because I do a lot of different things. So, okay, so we are now getting ready to do the Grand Championship Drive. So again, did the judge leave the arena? No.
Our champion,
Yeah.
senior,
Okay.
red female goes to Walters Livestock. Our reserve champion female goes to Merino Ranches. We're now ready for our overall Grand Champion Drive.
Okay, so we were talking about that Carolina Brahman Breeder sale that Best Cattle Sales is going to be hosting. Then, of course, we have the 2 Diamond P Cattle Pursuit of Perfection online sales. They have quite a few sales that we're going to be doing for them in 2021. We have their March 12 through 13, 2021, and their fall September 11 through 12. So you will be bidding online at Best Cattle Sales. And we're waiting for the Grand Championship to come into the arena. So we're going to talk a little bit more about some of these sales we're going to have on Best Cattle Sales. That's the site that the Brahman Journal powers. And so we really enjoyed working with our friends for helping them with their online sales. The Southern Classic is going to be the 4th annual Southern Classic sale, and it's going to be Saturday, May 1st. Our good friend Philip Gilstrap runs that sale. It's going to be registered Brahman and F1s, and we will be running that live and allowing you to bid online, or you can be in Hattiesburg, Mississippi for that sale. Of course, we would be remiss not to thank our good friends at ELGIN Breeding Service. They have a family tradition of quality since 1954. And we are waiting for, well, thank you, Mandy. Mandy's giving me a shout out, telling me I'm doing pretty good. Okay, here we go. We are getting ready to come into the arena with our Grand Champion Drive. Grand Champion Drive, guys. So, out of the calf division, so this is our Grand Champion Drive. Let's see what we've got coming in. I believe we might have had, let's see. Okay, these are our 4 champions. Back up a little so you guys can see. Okay, so in our championship, in our calf champion, our calf champion was 760. That was going to be that Moreno entry, and she was out of, I believe, class 5. So that's going to be the SRS Joe Kidd daughter. And our intermediate champion
We're getting my paperwork together.
was the
Coming out of
Moreno
Champion
entry.
Drive was from the Merino Ranch. Merino Miss Lady Rom is all I have on my sheet. Our reserve coming out of the calves was Walter's Livestock, Miss AA 380 over 1. In our intermediate division was the Merino Ranch, Merino Miss Lady Rising. And our reserve was from the Scanlon Cattle Company, CT Miss Red Bean 13 over 9. In our junior division, it was from the Joyce Custom Fitters, CT Lady Posco 10 over 9. And our reserve was Hudson Matthews, Lady M. Carmilla Rojo 30 over 9. And what we just finished up in our seniors was Walter's Livestock, KF Miss Rita Rojo 134. And our reserve was Merino's branches, Merino Miss Lady Rika, and that is our drive, sitting out here for the champion drive of our red females. Let's give them all a big applause. Hello, wake up everybody.
Okay, so we let our good friend Trish Collins read what we have in the arena.
Great set of
and
red
we'll
females
listen
here to
the judge.
evaluate today. I've talked to them, so I will only do that very briefly. The young calf on the end, when she's obviously growing, when that shoulder reaches that hip and you've got that much natural thickness, she's going to be tough. Really liked her out of that calf division. You've got one of the more balanced, level line females coming out of that intermediate division, one that's got a good set of feet and legs underneath her as well. You got a female that really handily won that junior division, a little two-tone one, but one that really had a lot of depth and a lot of shape to her as well. One that, again, stood out relatively easy in that group. And then you had a female that I've kind of liked all day. I feel like she just kind of puts it all together for me. I love the balance and eye appeal. I love the structural soundness of this female. I love how square she is out of her hip. And I love how pretty she is up front. She's going to be my red champion today.
Alrighty, we have the champion, and it's going to be the K-Bar Farms bred female, and that's going to be a Stingray daughter.
Champion
and coming
comes
in
out
for
the
reserve
senior division.
Consideration is going to be the Merino
Shown by
entry.
Walter's Livestock.
So Walter's Livestock. Oops, we're going to try
Miss
to get over here.
KF, Ms. Rita Rojo, 134.
Okay, there is your
the
grand
K-Bar
champion
Farms.
leaving the arena. Congratulations, Walter's Livestock, showing for
Appreciate the
K-Bar
really
Farms.
rugged, made up, sound female coming out of that senior division. Another one really, really good for that group. I just absolutely love the one I picked. And so she kind of relatively sorted herself there. But I think as we get out here, it's a little bit easier for me, taking nothing away from the quality of the reserve senior. We're going to go with our champion intermediate. She's going to be our reserve champion.
So the
red today.
intermediate, the Moreno entry, is going to be the reserve champion. So our reserve champion is going to be
Out of our intermediates is entry 756, Merino's Miss Lady Rising, Merino Ranches. Congratulations to everyone.
and that is number
We're gonna take just a
756. We're going to
short
take a
break.
short break, and we will be back shortly.